Yay, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a great morning. Today is Thursday, and welcome. Let me introduce myself if you haven't been in one of my classes before. My name is Alex Cooper. I'm the computer teacher for the Columbia County Library in Evans, Georgia, the Harlem Library, Uchi Creek, now Grovetown Library with our new Grovetown building. I'm very glad that you're here with me today. Of course, we're not doing any of course, we're not doing any on-ground classes or anything like that. We're home, at home staying safe and everything, and we're doing all our classes virtually and stuff. So, very glad that you're here with me today. Today's class is Google School. It's a lot of fun. We're going to cover a lot of stuff. And the interesting part about this class is it even kind of leads into some of the other classes that we do as well. So, feel free to go ahead and post any kind of questions that you have into the chat. And as you're coming into the classroom, I kind of tell you about some of our upcoming other classes that we have going on and other things that are going on in the library too. Now, do realize you do have to be logged into YouTube to be able to post in the chat and to do like or subscribe to our channel as well. So the big question I always ask is, how can I help? What questions do you have? How can I help? Okay. Feel free to post into the chat. There may be a little bit of a delay, kind of going back and forth, but do realize that I will answer your questions that are there. Okay. So what did we do on Tuesday? Tuesday we did our Raspberry Pi computing with projects with Alex. That's me. We did a live doorbell, and it was a lot of fun. And that's just kind of an open class so we can learn together, see if we can do some stuff together. And there we go. We learned how to program a little doorbell going bzz, bzz, bzz. We programmed it with Python with our Raspberry Pi. That video is still up and available. And then yesterday at 11 o'clock, we did our Google Suite. And all these videos are still available too. Google Suite, so if you're looking into using or just want to know a little bit more information about how to use the Google Suite of products that are free, Google Docs, the Google Spreadsheet program that's like Excel, Word, or PowerPoint, Sheets, and all that. So that's still up and available as well. We talk about Google Docs some too. And then yesterday afternoon, we did our email 101 personal and business. We also learned about things like what is CC, what is BCC, and we had some really great questions. And one of them was about how can I stop email from going to spam. And we talked about adding it to our contact list, and also I showed you how you can create up your own folders. So if you're getting a lot of newsletters that's just kind of, you want to keep receiving, but it's kind of bogging down your inbox, how to set up separate folders or even labels if it's Gmail and have it sent there. So that would help up, clear up your email so you can still receive, your normal email. That's still up and available too. Here's a list of the rest of the classes for the month of October. Yay! So of course this morning we're doing our Google School. Yay, Google School. And then this afternoon we're going to be doing Let's Build a Website with WordPress. WordPress recently got updated, so we'll be talking about some new features on WordPress, and some of that we'll even learn together. How about that? We won't have a class on Tuesday, but on Wednesday the 14th we're going to be doing start doing our fun Halloween classes, getting closer to Halloween this month. Ooh, some spooky classes. One we're going to do is Scratch Basics. Let's make a fun Halloween card and dance party. So that's going to be pretty fun. And then the afternoon, we're going to be doing Let's Talk About Libby, our new digital library. So big thing about that is we're switching over from RB Digital to the Libby service with our ebooks and audiobooks. And we're going to have a big class about that, ask lots of questions. And we're also going to cover some other stuff too, some other free resources from the library. We'll talk about how to get set up and everything too. And I even have a slide that'll kind of cover that pretty quickly as well. But we have a whole class that we're going to talk about it. So on the 15th, what are we be doing? At 11 o'clock, come join us. We're going to be doing an app swap. An app swap, what is that? Well, I'll be telling you about all the kind of apps that I love on my phone and my devices that basically can't live without. And then you can come in and talk about the apps that you love and can't live without, and we'll kind of share them at the app swap. Okay. And then on the 15th, we're going to be doing introduction to Google Cardboard. So we'll jump into Cardboard. We'll talk about it a little bit today with some videos, but with that, it'll allow us to jump in even further and maybe even talk about some games and also using someone's cell phone for that. And with the rest of the month, we have a whole bunch of fun Scratch classes, a Python class, a Unity class, and a Raspberry Pi coding class, how to make a sound trap. So someone comes steps on the front door, how we can get it to play different random noises using our Raspberry Pi. We're going to be talking about that. Okay? So lots of fun stuff. Also, we're going to have gadget help over Zoom, one-on-one. Call into the library. We're going to be doing 2 sessions on the 21st and the 29th. Call into the Harlem Library, the Grovetown Library to set up time schedule, and they'll actually give you more information on that. Okay? Here's a little bit of information about using our new Libby ebook service. I won't go into that too much, just kind of know that we are switching over, and these are some good directions on how to set up the service. The big one is to make sure when you're searching for your library, you don't just search for the Evans Library or Harlem Library. You're actually searching for the Greater Clarksville Regional Library System. Okay? And then choose Georgia Download Destination. And that's really, I feel like, it's the big two big hurdles, but also there's a PDF there to help out too. Our libraries are open with limited services and hours. Curbside holds pickup is available. You can go to gchrl.org for details. Call in the library with questions Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe so you'll be up to date and everything. Right now we're having a subscribe drive, so please make sure that you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. If we can get 100 people to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then we'll get our own personalized YouTube address. Also, you can search YouTube for GCHRL videos and our channel will pull right up. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll come back to, yay, I'm back. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and post into the chat. Our handout. Give me 1 minute. And like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know. Just post it into the chat. Okay, so here we go. Here's our handout. I just posted it into the chat. That's what we're going to be covering this morning. And I'll go ahead and open it. It's opening. It's thinking about it. Yay, there we are. Okay, so welcome to Google School. I'll try to make this as large as I can here. It's kind of our plan. So welcome to Google School. All right, so how this kind of came about, well, we do some basic computer classes. We do the beginner classes on there. We used to call them boot camp classes and stuff. Basically, it was a 4-part classes, and then people would say, I want to go a little bit more than just, learning the browser and doing some basic stuff with Google. I want to go a little bit further and kind of know a little bit more about all the things that Google has to offer. Okay, so that's kind of how this class came about, was that. and someone said, you know, can you cover a lot of the stuff that's on there, and want to know about what's Google Drive and all that. And that kind of begot the Google Suite class. And then there are also our Google VR headset class that's coming up as well. So we'll be covering that. And we also have a little bit of intro to that, a few videos that we'll be showing today about that. So you'll kind of be ready for next week's class. But let's go ahead and let's get started and talk about what we're going to cover this morning. Okay. So our overview is we're going to be talking about Google search query. Okay. The internet seek and find. We'll be talking about Google Books, Google Docs, Google Photos, Google Scholar, Translate, and then we'll basically have a big list of things we're going to go through that's free through Google. Any of this stuff's free to use if you have just a basic Google account. If you already have like an Android device or phone, then you already have an Android account, okay? Or if you have Gmail, you already have a Google account already, so you're good to go. Okay, now I'm going to disappear, so I'll say bye for now. Bye for now. But you can still hear me, of course. All right, so what we usually do is, if we were in class, this would basically be a handout that I would hand out to everybody, a copy of, so you could take with you, write any kind of notes on it, okay? And then I would actually have on the big screen what we'll be showing on the screen. So we're going to kind of go to our handout, go back to our hands-on part, go to our handout, and kind of go back and forth, vice versa. So let's talk about what is Google, okay? Google was founded in 1998. It's a search engine. Yeah, it scans websites for keywords and phrases and indexes those pages based on the content and keywords found, okay? Keywords, a word or phrase that is typed into a search engine to find content on websites. Google's even a verb, I Googled it, okay? The interesting thing about this is what we're going to cover with the keywords will even make you better when you're talking to the other online stuff, the Alexas, the Siris. All right, got to make sure my phone didn't answer. And even the Cortanas too, because we really need to talk to them with keywords, okay? Focus on if there's a different way to say the same thing if we're not getting the answers we were looking for. So John Wiley, the lead designer at Google Search, says every day 15% of daily searches, the questions people ask Google, have never been asked before, okay? So let's do a search, okay? Let's go to google.com. Let's click in the search box. Type in the keywords Columbia County Library, okay? And then let's click where it says Google Search, okay? Or you can hit the enter button, okay? So let's go ahead and do that together. All right, so here's our Google. We're going to be using the Microsoft Edge browser today. And let's search for Columbia County Library. Oh, I spelled it wrong, but it gives me a nice little suggestion to spell it right. All right, so the first thing that comes up in our search and what we're about to talk about is not only do we have our results here, but we also have a little bit of a suggestion over here on the right side. So let's go into our next page, or excuse me, our talk about our different categories, okay? So not only do we have our different sections, we have our Google categories, our website title, we have our website address that's below it, okay? Now they actually did a recent change a little bit, so the actual view of the web address is actually now on the top. So there are certain things that they'll constantly change, but the blue is the really important part, because when we click there, that's the actual page it'll take us to. And if you want to extend it, I won't go into that part, but it will show you the address. It gives a little bit of a synopsis here underneath it, and it'll show the keywords that you typed in bold, okay? Now there is embedded information here on the right side, okay? And if we go to the next section, if we actually look at the, I missed a part. Hold on. If we actually look up here in our section, we can see about how many search results that we can expect, and it shows this. So if we were here, we were searching, if we actually scroll down, we can actually click any of these links and then click the back button to go back. And it also gives us some suggested keywords to add to our search. And if we wanted to, we could hit next to go to the next page, okay? Now most folks, they say only goes to the first and second page. And one of the things is, let's see, where's the, it doesn't give the suggestion. Sometimes they'll give like a little suggestion box here with some search stuff, so just be aware of that. Kind of most questions people would ask next or something. Up here we have our different categories, okay? Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here, because that does seem a little small. There we go. So we have our different categories up here, and we'll talk about those in just a second. The maps, images, news, and shopping. Okay. Now let's talk about using our search query. Okay. So the big thing that we have is we really want to add more keywords, gradually. Okay. It'll help you be a little bit better search results. So let's start off. Our example was ice cream, wasn't it? So at any time I can actually go back up here, delete what's up there. Now if I just type in ice cream, oh, that's funny. Still had the L in there, sorry. Ice cream, ugh. Sounds terrible. So basically it pops up and it says our general area of Evans, Georgia. And it pops up here, gives different ice cream restaurants. Here's like a Wikipedia page talking about the history of ice cream. Here's some little videos about a song about ice cream. Let's see, Yelp, Ben & Jerry's website. And I'm really looking for maybe something really specific, okay? Right down here it talks about adding more categories, more keywords. And if I click the next Google, I might find the information I was looking for, and I may not. So let's go back to our example. Ice cream recipe. Ah, that's what we're really looking for. So let's type in, and it'll actually give suggestions when we're looking. So if I go down here, it's right here. Just tap it, recipe. Boom, we're already on the right path because we're here looking for a recipe. So if I just type in ice cream, we don't really get what we want. And we'd have to keep hitting next, 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 okay? So maybe be general. Maybe the only ice cream recipe you'll ever need. They promise. They have a show more button here. Here's some other recipes. And this is the one I was expecting earlier where it says people also ask how to make ice cream at home. And if you click here, it'll kind of expand it. It can be a video. It can be an article. So this is kind of what they think that people, have searched before, have clicked on. Maybe this will answer your question, and it keeps on going this way. Martha Stewart, let's see, all recipe, And we also have some videos kind of baked in as well. Baked in. Here's more search, and then at the bottom we have more keyword suggestions. Okay, so I'm looking for a recipe, but I'm looking for peach ice cream recipe. So this just isn't doing it. I could actually search, click one of these, maybe I'll find it on one of these pages. So I actually want to add another keyword. Let's add peach. So here's peach. And it pops up. Here we are. Now we're on the right path. Old-fashioned fresh peach ice cream, peach ice cream, peach ice cream. Let's see. Peach, peach ice cream, all recipe, classic peach ice cream. Let's see, 6 eggs, sugar, 12 peaches, pitted and chopped. There you go. 4 cups of heavy cream. Doesn't that sound good? A Georgia classic. And people are talking about it down there. So basically, we find what we're looking for by being general. Okay, and I'll click the back button. By being general, and then getting more specific. Okay, adding more keywords, trying to focus on exactly what are we looking for. All right, so let's continue. So let's talk about England. So let's say we were just looking for some information about traveling to England. Now, if we just type in the name of the country, name of the state or something, it's only going to give us information about those. Okay. Kingdom of England. Okay. But what I really want to know is about travel to England. Now, some of these down here, it doesn't even suggest travel. Usually it does. But if we add an extra keyword like travel, then all of a sudden our search results change. Now we could see something on here that says an ad, so just be aware of that. Official tourism website of Great Britain. Okay. Good old Rick Steves, Travel and Leisure, Lonely Planet. Okay. So now we've completely changed what we're looking for just by adding one little keyword to it. Okay. All right, now let's talk about phrases. Okay. Now I've had it where Google has actually gotten smarter, and anytime I type in like I have a dream, it actually shows us Martin Luther King. But used to, it would kind of, I will tell you this, if it's not in quotes, one of the things that happens with our words is after a while, if we kept going, and we actually kept going a few pages later, it actually will start to break up our words, okay, to they're separate. But if I put something in quotes, it doesn't have to be capitalized, but it's proper English. So now we'll actually see our search results have gotten a lot smaller, and also you'll actually see the only thing that we should see in there is quotes. That's that exact quote phrase. Okay. Now this also helps out if you're trying to search for somebody's name, putting something in quotes, but that's one of the things that Google does. And any of your search results will only show stuff that has that phrase in that order. Exactly, it connects it together. So those words now cannot be broken up in any way. Okay, and quotes will do that for you. All right, so let's talk about salsa. Okay, So we actually type in salsa. It shows a local ballroom dance places, a restaurant named Salsas. It also comes up with recipes. But let's say I'm not getting the search results I'm looking for. Okay. What if I don't want it to have what if I don't want it to have anything to do with food? What if I did want it to be about dancing? Or if I don't want it to show any kind of dancing or anything? Well, we can actually do something where we do a minus sign, okay? What does the minus sign do? You have to make sure that there's a space after salsa, the minus sign, and then the word. Make sure there's no space here, okay? What exactly does that do? Well, it tells Google to subtract that word from all our search results, okay? So let's try that now. Now, other things you could do if you were looking for a salsa recipe, probably add the word recipe in there, and that should take care of any kind of dancing. But I'm just going to use our example here. So do minus dance. So when we look at our search results, we shouldn't see anything about dancing. Even in our restaurants, shows us the search for our restaurants change, okay? So now we're only getting the restaurants and not the dance studios or anything, okay? Just by doing the minus, okay? It even suggests typing in dance recipe, which will be more specific even with that, but we're just kind of showing off how to use our minus sign. Now, let's say we were searching for the definition of what is a dog, okay? Yay, puppies. And if you hover here, it'll show like little previews and stuff. Yay, little puppy dogs. Puppy dogs, puppy dogs. All right, so one of the things is I might be getting websites that I'm not interested in, okay? So let's talk about how we can use our minus sign to basically not show us those websites, okay? So let's say I'm getting some websites like Wikipedia, okay? Not only you can use this not only for keywords, but also websites as well. So if I do minus Wikipedia, it will not show in their search results anything from Wikipedia, okay? And it even turned off our embedded there, because Google will embed Wikipedia stuff, okay? Stuff from the Humane Society, Petco, PetSmart. There we go. And that's how we can use our minus sign. All right, so let's go back to our handout. Let's talk about using asterisks, okay? And I recently talked to someone that basically had been using this feature. It was a different type of search they were doing, but they were searching a database. And I said, well, you know that you can use the asterisks? And they said, yep, use the asterisks. Doing this search in that database. And I said, well, you could do that with Google too. So it was a really, really interesting conversation because sometimes they had things that we're having to look for and it wasn't actually pulling up, but if you put the asterisk in there, then it kind of left it as a unknown, okay? So we have a phrase we're trying to look for, and I don't remember exactly. It was a something, something is something earned or something like that. I don't really remember exactly what it was like, okay? But I'm not 100% sure. Now, you could maybe type this in here and Google will figure it out. It's possible. But if I do some of the asterisks here, asterisk lets us know it's one word is missing. So let's do that together, kind of like a placeholder. So a asterisk asterisk is a asterisk earned, okay? So a asterisk asterisk is a asterisk earned. Have you figured it out yet? Yeah, absolutely right. A penny saved is a penny earned. Okay, that is right. So all I really remembered was that something earned, and hopefully that helped out. And it did. We found exactly what we're looking for. The Benjamin Franklin quote: "A penny saved is a penny earned." Okay. All right. So the other thing that we have on here is, before we do our internet seek and find, we're going to do our electric car search. So exactly how does this work? Well, the big thing about this is this actually allows us to search websites specifically. We're going to do CNN for electric cars. So let's say that you're going to go to a website. You know the information's on this website. Maybe you had seen it before. Maybe you're using the site search, but for some reason it's just not working out. Okay. Well, you can actually search the site if you want to. Okay. So let's pull that up. And basically what it is we're going to tell Google to search the site CNN.com for electric cars. Okay. So the only search results we should get is something that CNN.com. Now, used to, we would get a whole bunch that would say money.cnn.com on here. Okay. But all our search results now just show the one website that we were searching. Okay. And that's a really big one. I've actually had a blog that I really liked in the past. And one of the problems with the blog was the search on the blog was not very good. So basically, they would write an article just, 3 days ago or something. And I would have to flip back three pages a week, maybe even a month to try to find this article. And I would use their search and it would not work properly. And then I would pull up Google and get it to search like this, and it would pull it right up. And I go, I don't know what's wrong with that website search, but it doesn't work properly. So let's talk about our internet seek and find. Okay, so did you go ahead and search for your name? Now, it doesn't have to be your name. You could search for John Smith or something. Okay. Now, one of the reasons I use this as an example is imagine if you were going to a business meeting or meeting someone for the first time and they decided to Google you. Okay. And the interesting thing about that is have to realize that a lot of the times when we type in someone's name, we're going to Google somebody, and that's supposed to be socially acceptable, especially for dating or meeting someone new. Realize that may not actually be them. So the interesting thing for mine is it had always been an auction site that had been popped up. Did you know that I owned an auction site? Oh, yes, yes. Oh, I've always been really big into auctions. No, no, that's not me. It says it's been around for over 90 years, and it buys and sells stuff all the time. That's not me. And there's also, let's see, a tragic story that's recently occurred with that name, and also some other parts in here. Let's see, WebMD talks about someone's life story and everything, and also talks about searching the others. So even if you go for, I don't know, a few pages here, you still actually won't find me. So just kind of realize that when we do a search on someone's name, that may not actually be them. Okay? And it is a good idea to do your name every once in a while and just kind of see what happens, comes up. And I wouldn't bring it up to anybody, but probably if something did come up, it goes, well, my name is, connected to blah, blah, blah. I own a very fancy auction site, but actually I don't. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so it's important that do realize that that's part of kind of our culture now is searching for somebody, but realize just like that, if we search for someone else, that probably or may not be them in general. Okay. So let's talk about what does ROFL. So this is just kind of a fun seek and find list to try to work on our search skills. Okay. And with some of the stuff we're going to talk about a little bit later, we'll be adding more keywords to our search as we search and find things. And let's just do some general searching here. So what does ROFL mean? Okay. So let's say you were texting with someone and they all of a sudden use ROFL. One of the easiest things to do is type it into Google ROFL. You could also type in what does ROFL mean, but that's more likely to still just pick up on you saying ROFL. And if someone like on a discussion board had posted what does ROFL mean, that may be more akin to what it would pull up. One of the things too is I wanted to show that we're more and more likely, which is great, especially with our mobile devices, to find the answer we're looking for actually in Google or to pop up in Google. Okay, so ROFL means rolling on the floor laughing. Okay, and it gives us an example there, and that's from the Cambridge.org dictionary. Okay. Now let's go to our number 3 here. So who was the 20th president of the United States? And when and where was he born? Okay. Now here's a big one. When we search, we need to think about, is there another way to say the same thing? Okay. So when we look at it and we're trying to find when someone's birthday is, you could say birth date, you could say born, or one website might say BD or birth date. So do realize there may be more than one way to say the same thing. And one website typing in born may not pull up the other one that just says birth and has their name next to it. Okay. So let's see if we can find that out. 20th president. Oh, didn't spell it right. There you go. Oh, second. Interesting. I guess I didn't type in the... Oh, there we go. All right. James Garfield. And there you go. I wonder if James Garfield owned a cat. Wonder what the cat's name was. All right, so let's look here and let's see who's chosen. It's going to give us information. We still don't actually have any extra information going on him, do we? Let's see. So here we are, whitehouse.gov. We click James Garfield. It'll pop up. Now we could keep going through the search here. Let's see, born. So there we go. There's our born. So now that we know his name, oh, it pops up right there. Type his name in, and now look how much more information we get. We even get it right here. Now that is a Wikipedia, so you may want to still do born. Here's your date right here, November 19th, 1831. And then it starts listing websites. Here's biography.com. There you go, November 19th, 1831. There you go. You could use that as a reference. Okay. Here's Britannica.com. Of course, the White House one popped up as well. OhioTraveler.com. Interesting. So I guess that was his birthplace. Okay, so we found out information. Now if I say, instead of born, let's see if we get the same results. If I say birth, that popped up. Biography popped up. Britannica popped up. Ohio okay, good. Good. So it kind of pulled those up as well. All right, so we always need to think about, is there one or more ways to say the same thing? So let's go ahead and let's do number 4. What's the main ingredient in shoe fly pie? So here's our shoe fly pie. It's a Pennsylvania Dutch recipe. Give some information over here from the Wikipedia site. I also have Taste of Home. Let's see. Now, what's the easiest way to find the main ingredient? Probably to look at the recipe. So let's add the word recipe. Here's shoe fly pie. Grandma's shoe fly pie. Let's go by the all recipes. Let's try that one. So we have our pie shell, a cup of molasses, some hot water, teaspoon of baking soda, an egg, a cup of all-purpose flour, some brown sugar. Molasses and brown sugar, that sounds really good and sweet. It's really not very, very sweet, okay? But you'd think it would be. And there's your shoe fly pie, molasses. I wonder if that means a fly might get stuck in the molasses. I don't know. It's kind of funny. All right, so let's flip back. Let's scroll back up. So number 5. Now this is one that I would have folks in class get different answers. Okay. Well, not really different answers, but different ways about finding the answer to this question. Okay. So whose face is on the $10,000 bill or note? Okay. Let's go back to our search. So let's say we just want to search up the $10,000 bill. There's a billing machine for some reason. Let's see, $10,000 bill. Museum American Finance. Bankrate.com. 6 famous discontinued uncommon. How much is a $10,000 bill worth? Probably $10,000. All right, let's go to the first one that it's up here. Not familiar with this site. Museum of American Finance. We found it pretty quickly now, didn't we? Okay. So, it even shows some of the other information that we're looking for. Usually we actually have to have, this must be a newer site. Usually we actually have to then search for the person and to learn a little bit more about them, but it looks like it's even listed here in this article as well. So what was the $10,000 bill? Well, the $10,000 bill featured portrait of President Lincoln's Secretary of the Treasury, which was who? Salmon P. Chase, okay? Was the highest denomination U.S. currency had ever publicly circulated, although a $100,000 bill featuring the portrait of Woodrow Wilson, was issued. Its purpose was to transfer funds between Federal Reserve banks and not to pass in retail transactions since 1969. The highest denomination note issued in the U.S. has been the $100 bill. Interesting. So basically, it was something that the different companies and the interesting, because I've heard that the $10,000 one was similar to that $100,000 one. So we may actually have to do a little bit more research here. Let's see. Where's the one that was about banks? Let's see. Bank rate, $500, $1,000. There's Salmon P. Chase. There it is right there. So the interesting thing is I've also heard this wasn't technically in circulation either. Front is unfamiliar. It shows Salmon P. Chase. Now, supposedly, have you heard of Chase Bank? Chase credit card? Well, supposedly, that has nothing to do with him or his family or anything. They just named it after him. Okay. The back of the bill shows the embarkation of the Pilgrims. Okay. As they sailed to freedom in North America. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen the back of it. But yeah. So I had read before that it also was just a banknote that was transferred back and forth. There's the $100,000 bill. That was more of a gold certificate, it said. But it's interesting. No, I do not want to activate my account. All right, so let's go ahead and do our last part here. And then we'll continue on learning more about some of our other things that we can do with Google and some of the other features that Google has, things that are free. So let's go ahead and I'll kind of leave this one here with you and we'll continue on our journey, on our journey of learning. I feel like the Stingray and Finding Nemo. Come on, explorers. All right, so the information I'm going to give you here, and I'll kind of leave it for you to find for yourself. It's a lot of fun to do this one because it's interesting, because once you figure out who designed the plane, you can find the plane, and then the other part about it is, where is the plane right now? Okay. All right, so let's talk about some of our special keywords. Okay. I wouldn't really say that these are, things you really have to remember, but they will make your search a little bit easier later. Like throwing in the word lyrics. You're looking for if you're looking for lyrics to a song, just throw in the word lyrics. Okay. Weather is a really good one. So if I go back up here and let's say, let's do Florida. How about that? And I just type in weather. In Google, it'll automatically show me what the weather is. Okay, and you can do cities as well. Okay. So it pops up here talking about what the 7-day forecast says, and this is actually from weather.com. You can click it right in Google. And in some respects, this is a quicker way than some of the websites too, because it doesn't really have as much advertisement before being able to see some of this information. So if you can view it this way, it can be quicker. Now, here's a great one here about time zones. If you actually start asking the question about time zone to Google, it actually will show you some really great websites about figuring out how to do time zones. But if we actually go up here And let's say, well, we did England a minute ago. How about England? And I just put in the word time. Boom, it'll automatically tell. So right now it is Thursday and it's 5:02 p.m. okay, in England right now. So not only can you use this to figure out, what the time is somewhere, but it also will tell you the day, which I think is important as well, especially if you have an appointment on a certain day, you can make sure that it is the right day. Okay. So this works with, I would say, all countries. You can just type it in and Google will come up and tell you. All right, so let's look at the define a word. All I got to do is, we did dog earlier. Let's do dog, and I'll say define. And then boom, we'll have the word dog, even voice.
Dog.
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 Dog. Oh, doggy pictures. So instead of just typing in dog, typing in the word define will basically pull up the dictionary. And it shows where it's from. It's the Oxford Language Dictionary. Okay. You could go to dictionary.com, but again, we're right in Google. We're here already. Just type it in Google, add the word define. You're there. Now, we won't cover this right now because, as you know, not really any movies going on at the movie theater right now. But in the future, when there's movies again at the movie theaters, we will actually be able to do a search here. You can type in your zip code, type in the word movie, and it'll show you what movies are playing in your area. Okay. What about conversion? Okay. I wish there was an easier way to find this. I've tried to find an easier way to do this. Hopefully they'll update and make this a little bit easier. Mostly to bring up the unit converter for Google, you basically just start typing in something. And wait, what was our example here? 95 pounds in kilograms. And this nice unit converter pops up. Okay. Sure, they'll send you to websites that may have some that are similar, but again, it's right here. I can actually click the little drop down windows, change it if I want to. What about stone? England uses this thing called stones. So 95 pounds is 6 stones. Let's see. There's your kilograms, 43. So you can also try it to do other stuff as well. If you hit where it says the little drop down here, where it says mass, it'll do length, foot into yards, as you can see, millimeters. It's great. It'll even do volume, which is really needed for the kitchen. So this is one of the things that'll pop up if you asked Siri or Google, basically to help with figuring out how many quarts are in how many cups are in a quart or something like that. Okay. Let's talk about what we're going to be searching for. Okay. A big thing is, let's talk about our different categories. I'm going to go back and search for our Columbia County Library again. And as we look at our different categories, these will actually change and they'll move around. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's talk about let's do news. So if I click news, yeah. All right. So the news actually shows news sites, newspapers, the local TV stations and everything. Okay. So it's just news articles. Now, how can I change the big question I usually get asked is how can I change my way it searches for news? Now, this actually works with most of our searches on here. If I go up here to tools and I click the drop down, where it says recent, I can actually say past hour, past 24 hours, past week, past month, and even a custom range. So here and on the main search, which is the all, you can control how old the news is, or if you're looking for a certain time frame or a certain year or anything. So that's right at your fingertips. Okay. Now, the other part about this is you can actually control if you want news from a blog or not, or specifically a blog. And one of the things is, like I said, searching news articles. You can control this, but you can do it in the main search as well. Let's say that it's a software program update that's come out. We'll say for the iPhone or something. If it just came out a month ago, if I'm searching, I don't want any information about anything that's older than a month. Then I could go back here and click in the past month, because the problem I'm having didn't start happening until less than a month ago. Okay. That'll greatly cut down your search, especially if something has the same name. Okay. We'll play around with the maps and stuff. But here's our shopping section. Okay. Now, YouTube and Google do have a lot of parts on it where you could actually search for videos. Okay. There's YouTube, of course. Also, there's video.google.com. Google actually owns YouTube. So the thing about that is, if I want to search YouTube just by itself, that's fine. But if I do video.google.com, it will search other sources as well. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go to our next parts. These are kind of broken up into our different little sections. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to Google Books. Now, one of the books I use, and we're not signed in, so there's lots of free books on here. There's also paid for books, and you can download the Google Play app, to other devices and read books. So if you do purchase a book or want to view a book that way. So let's look for Alice in Wonderland. Now, most of these should say read on them. Okay. If there's one that's not, it says something like preview. So how does that work? How do we have a non-copyright book and sometimes it says preview, or it wants to try to sell it to me? Okay. Well, some of these books are similar. If you take a non-copywritten book and then rewrite it in some ways, maybe make it a coloring book or something, or just say it in a different way, then you could actually sell it. That's the way that works, because you've changed it. Okay. The classic one we want to look at, where is it on here? Well, where's my classic one on here? Lots of previews. It's about the movie. I think this is it right here, I think. So basically we just click it. What is this? Hold on, let's go back. We've changed it around a little bit. Is this it maybe? I usually like showing the one that has it has some beautiful illustrations on the cover. There we go. So the classic illustrations that go along with the book are included in some of these. And this is a read for free one. So let me exit out. So this is our main section. You can download anything that's non-copywritten, of course. Download as a PDF. The other thing is you can do preview of certain books. Maybe it'll let you read the first chapter, or at least a little bit of it. Depends on what the publisher wants to do. And you could actually view those books, and download them as well. Free to read, download PDF, and one thing that you can do is you can actually search inside the book. Let's search for the word cat. And it'll actually pull it up, even though it is, kind of like a copy of the book, as you can see with our illustrations. But the beautiful part about it is this actually has it so you can if you actually had the physical book in front of you and that edition and everything, you could actually do a search and then flip to that page if you wanted to. Okay. We're all mad here, said the cat. I'm mad, you're mad. All right, so that's Google Books. They have full and partial text. Many are free, public domain, public domain. Download as a PDF file. Okay. Good part is you can use it on many different devices. Download the Apple Play, not the Apple, but the Google Play Store to like an Android device, or you can actually download the Google Play to, I think it's just called Books, Google Books. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that. But it also works on e-readers too. So it's kind of one of those things, once you have the books, you can use it on the other devices too. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look at our Google Drive a little bit. And yesterday I did a whole class about using this feature, so we won't talk about it too much. So here is a Google Drive. What's the big point about this is because you can have apps on your devices to edit this as well. Okay. Also, we have Google Docs, and it's all online. So it's a word processing program, spreadsheet, presentation program like PowerPoint. The good thing is you can save files online or upload Word documents or PowerPoint documents to them or the cloud. And you can open and save Office documents too. You can create something in Google Drive or let's say their word processor, the docs, and then save it as a Word doc file if you want to. For free, you get up to 15 gigs of space. Okay. And for more information about synchronizing, you can go to this website right there. And look, I had the thing open. Hold on. So this is the Google Drive. I have many different little documents that are already up here, just mostly using for our classes. And if I did want to create something new, I would go New, and it would show me I could upload a file here. And if I uploaded a Word document, it would transfer it, and I would be able to edit it and everything. Also, there's Google Docs, which is like Word, Sheets is like Excel, and Slides is like PowerPoint. So I'll do Docs, and you'll get kind of realize what's going on pretty quickly. So up here, you can change the name of the document. You can type whatever you want. And again, if I click File and I click Download, it will allow me to download it as a doc file, and I can open it in Word if I needed to. So it's making it very universal to use and easy to switch back and forth. Okay. So instead of having to have flash drives going back and forth and maybe even emailing a document back and forth that's being edited, you can actually set it up to share the documents with colleagues or other people that you're working on a project with, and it actually will allow you to edit it and control who edits it, and also it'll talk about how it'll show who edited it last. Okay, and that's Google Docs. All right, so let's talk about Google Photos a little bit. So Google Photos, and I think they have a little video I'll show you. So I won't log into my account right now, but just kind of know it has great features. The biggest thing, of course, is being able to use the app on your phone. It will actually back up your photos to the cloud, okay? And the best part about it is that being for free. Unlimited backup. So we have our pictures on there. We can access them. So if your phone's filling up, back up your pictures, and then you can actually have it so when you go into the settings, it'll only back up on Wi-Fi if you have that setting. That's by default. But once it backs up of pictures, it'll actually, if your device says, hey, your device is full, you can actually go to the menu and say, delete the pictures that have been backed up, and it'll actually clear out space for your phone. Can do a little bit of basic editing there. And they do have a print service they use like Walmart and CVS if you decide to go that route. Now, I'm going to show you a photo scan. So just realize that its logo is this little pinwheel thing. I like that it kind of spins a little bit. And let's see, I think that's just about the icon thing. We don't really want to know that. All right, so this is actually a app. So we talked about Google Photos a little bit. So we talked about free unlimited storage with the high quality, like I said. That's photos and videos, and it'll back up from your phone as well and synchronize. It also allows you to do cloud sharing with folks, so you can share stuff with other folks, so that makes it very easy. Also, it has some photo assistant stuff. You can do some basic editing with it, basic photo editing. But let's talk about the Photo Scan app. Whoop, didn't mean to close that. Hold on. This is the Photo Scan app. It allows you to scan older photos. I have a nice little video here that'll explain it very quickly.
Once upon a time, before there were smartphones, people took real photos, printed on actual paper. Photos of siblings, of moms and dads, of birthday parties, of mullets, of grandma playing with dirt. Photos of the people that haunt your house, and selfies before they were called selfies. These fragile pieces of paper are your memories. They're your family. They're your history. They're your regrets. So it's a good thing all those precious memories are safely backed up and perfectly organized in a nope! They're in a box in the attic, which is like the 87th best place they could be. Maybe it's time to get out the gigantic flathead scanner, find the right cord, download the driver, and bam! Photos saved forever. And bam. Wouldn't it be great if there was like a technology that was kind of like a mini scanner, like a handheld? Oh, hello. With the PhotoScan app, just hold your phone over any printed photo and go boop, 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 done. And you've got a high-res digital copy of the original without any glare. And it's not just a photo of a photo, because that looks like this. And if you have Google Photos, all your photos will be organized by face or place. It took you 4.5 hours to get ready for this photo. The least you can do is spend a few seconds to scan it forever. Photos from the past meet scanner from the future. PhotoScan by Google Photos.
And it's very easy to use too. And of course it's free. And that's PhotoScan. This kind of shows the difference. The big thing about it, taking 4 pictures, like click, or as it says, boop, 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 boop. It actually does it from different angles, so then it doesn't show any glare once you get the picture. Okay? And then it'll synchronize it up to the cloud and stuff, so you'll have it. All right, so let's go ahead. Now, I won't delve into this one too much. This is Google Scholar. This basically is for someone looking for scholarly references. Some articles. Here, I'll see if we can search for dog. So basically it allows you to search for articles, and a little bit similar to the Galileo search that we have at the library as well. Cat dog. Oh no, cat talking about bites. Has peer-reviewed papers, full articles, abstracts. Lots of information out there. Now let's talk about kind of a fun one. Let's talk about the Google Translate. One of the big things about this is not only is it really great as a website, but we can actually use it as an app on our phone as well. I don't remember if I had a little video in here, but so basically you type in a language. As you see, it can translate a lot of languages. Now, if you are talking to someone in a different language, do realize, and you may want to let them know that you are using Google Translate because this is a robot, translating, and it's not a person. It may not be very accurate, or it may sound strange in a way. Okay? The big thing about this is to actually use it as an app, which is a big help. There you go. Shed a little light on the subject there. So Google Translate, and it actually can talk back and forth as well. Hello, how are you? So one of the things you can do is you can actually go in and not only have it so you can actually have it so that you talk at one point and then it'll automatically reply to them, and it has a conversation mode. How is the weather outside? So it allows the other person to kind of talk back and forth. The other thing that it can do, and I don't have anything I can really, let's see. So I have a sheet of paper here, and I can actually use it to translate with the camera. So if I hold it up, and I'll do a little screenshot with it. And it actually will virtually show us. So here's my sheet of paper. It's just kind of instructions, and it says consumer, it says get support and stuff. And if I hold this up to it and tell it to basically translate into Japanese, it does it virtually, and you can actually see it immediately. So imagine traveling, and some of this will depend on the internet. Mostly the voice translate, but the other part works very well off of the internet. It depends on what it is. Voice but one of the things about that is you can actually look at a menu using it to translate if you were traveling somewhere, and even do conversations with other people. I've actually heard that some folks have traveled and within the past few years, and even seen that the other people in the other countries pulling their cell phones out and basically, handing them the phone to basically have it translate back and forth from whatever language they're speaking to English. Okay, so allowing a lot of business, allow a lot of shopping, of course, and kind of encouraging international travel. Well, I can pull out Google Translate, and if me trying to communicate isn't working well. And that's Google Translate. It also will translate documents too that you can upload as well. Great app. Just like I showed, there is an offline mode. Okay. Has voice for most languages. And here it is, kind of like the live camera, text translator, attention, reduce speed. So let's talk about some of our other, come on, we'll talk about some of our other features that we have, and then we'll basically wrap up class. So Google has this really great page. As you see, it kind of has a little bit of a long address here. Really great page. It is constantly changing, but it includes most of their products, I will say, are listed on here. Definitely recommend downloading, if you don't have it, even if you have an iPhone, downloading the Google search, because you can search, with your voice. So I will say, oh, this will be interesting. Define dog.
Here's the definition of dog. A domesticated carnivorous mammal that typically has a long snout, an acute sense of smell, non-retractable claws, and a barking, howling, or whining voice.
Barking, howling, or whining voice. Or you can tap it.
Dog.
Dog. So this is the Google search app. Okay. So being able to do a voice search, and of course you can do the classic things that you can do with Siri and stuff, the weather and everything. But as you see, when I do a search, it can give me more information. The one thing is that Siri, Alexa, the rest of them are actually trying to become, like they say, an assistant. So you can ask them questions and they're more likely to tell you. But trying to focus on what the keywords are that we talked about today can make you get a little bit better search results, or I guess you should say voice search results. So here you go right there. So this kind of goes into a lot of the things that Google's services have. We talked about Google Translate. Okay. Also, there's the web browser, Google Chrome, and there's our Google Search that's right there. Now, I think that, is there a little video for that? So here's the Google Search I was just talking about. And it also is starting to do something where they call them cards, but it actually pops up and gives you suggestions. If there's like even a sports team that you search a lot for, it'll even pop up and tell you, hey, that sports team's playing, or what the score is. Of course, Google Maps, you can't, under connect with Google Maps, of course. Whoop. Uh-oh. Hope you're still there. I just had a weird black flicker for some reason. All right.
For the last 15 years, we've been mapping the world together, helping you get wherever you wanted to go. And today, there is so much more to explore. Like your new go-to cup of coffee. Or the Modern Art Museum, free on Fridays. Best tacos in town? Beat the rush. Pick up basketball in your new favorite park. Or book a table for the tastiest pizza you haven't eaten yet. From getting you around the corner to helping you discover the world, there's more to explore with Google Maps.
So we have our Google Maps part. So if you haven't used it much, there is like a glitch thing going on for some reason. Do refresh on that page. Or maybe we should leave that page for now. Okay, there we go. So they're adding a little bit more to Google Maps about it doing stuff and more suggestions. Hands-free. Ooh, Space Camp. All kinds of really neat videos here. And the other parts, Street View. So Street View, absolute classic. So it goes beyond, of course, Google Maps. You probably still seen it a little bit too. Trying to figure out how you're getting somewhere. All right, so let's go back. And we'll go back one more. Keep going. Hey Jane, glad you're here too. I'm still here. Yay. That was strange. Okay, so one of the things that's interesting is they're actually coming out with a new Chromecast. Chromecast is their version, let's say, of like a Roku, and it actually has a remote this time. So I feel like they actually listen to customers, and it actually does have a remote. And it's more of an Apple TV. It's more of an Android TV, so it's kind of their answer now to an Apple TV. So it does have apps and stuff it'll do as well, not just streaming, I guess you could say. See, it even talks about that. So it's showing movies and stuff that it connects with. You can also still connect to it with your phone, but it has some extra stuff, and it'll connect to the devices at your house as well. And I think they're selling it just for $30 right now. Wish it would show the Yeah, so it does Netflix and all the kind of main streaming services. And it does games and stuff as well. So it's trying to focus on that it can do more. And like I said, it's kind of Google's answer to the Apple, which is a more of its premium streaming service. Well, device, I should say. But yeah. Okay, so of course you can't, YouTube is a huge resource as well. Let's keep talking. The Gmail, the messaging app, they have some other things that they kind of play around with. Some of the problems with some of these is that it may not be universally used. Google Duo, I've heard, is a very good video chatting device, but a lot of people that do have a smartphone, they'll just FaceTime each other, or they'll use Facebook to FaceTime with each other as well. But it's another option. Calendar is a huge one to be able to keep up with all your stuff. Using contacts is a great one. Of course, we talked about Google Photos. Keeps is a newer one. I've been trying to use it a little bit more lately. It's just a note keeper app, and it backs it up to the cloud, and in case something does happen. And it'll store your stuff online. You can make little lists, notes. It's like Microsoft's OneNote, okay? And of course, it's free. You can speak notes. You can capture pictures and store them like in notes. Little checkbox. Okay, and that might be a good idea to be able to share, let's say, a shopping list with family. Maybe they can add to it. There you go, and that's called Keep. We also talked about docs and slides and Drive a little bit, and Sheets. Is it supposed to be a little video? Oh, this is about the sharing that we talked about a little bit. Okay. They also have advertisements that you can do, and this is kind of the big list. It says for all, the big list of things that are available. This is one of the things we'll talk about in our cardboard class, which is pretty neat. It's basically put your cell phone in there, and it has lots of it's compatible with different games, VR, videos, immersive experiences, and is as cheap as $15. Some of the stores will actually sell little things that are a little bit more, let's say, robust than just having that. I have one. That's what we're going to use in our class that's coming up. But as you can see, you can do VR, cardboard camera, which is looking at pictures basically in 3D, and then basically seeing like a street view. So we'll be talking about that in the VR cardboard class. Let's see. We talked about Chromecast, talked about all that there. Google Earth is the actual app that you download, and it basically uses maps but turns it into an actual globe. And because it is a program that you actually download, you may get a lot more flexibility with it. Lots of pictures. I'd heard they were doing something with Carmen Sandiego situation. And of course, that with Google Maps and Street View and everything, it could make it really interesting.
Most of my family immigrated from Iran in the 1970s, but no one has been able to go back.
This picture is around 65 years ago.
When I hear a lot of these family stories, it's hard to have a real connection with that place because I've never been. But my family has used Google Earth to see those places.
This is the neighborhood I used to ride my bike around.
Today, I'm working on a project for my family on Google Earth. I'm mapping these family photos so that we can draw connections between the past and a new future.
Today, we're putting together a digital tour of the Hudson River, highlighting some landmarks and other special places along the river in Google Earth. As an environmental advocacy organization, we're always looking for ways to connect people to rivers in an emotional way. The new creation tools allow us to put place marks, add photos and descriptions to really create a meaningful story.
Today we're working on a Google Earth project. We talk about how our community has grown up around a lake and how that lake has been kind of abused through pollution.
My project is about the carousel that was around Onondaga Lake. The carousel was moved because Onondaga Lake got really polluted.
As a community, we've all seen how that lake project has been cleaned up. Learning about where we live can benefit other people.
Doing this project makes these places seem more real. I've been so fortunate to have these stories that have been given to me, and now I'm able to give something back to my family, and it brings me more context and understanding of what their lives were like.
With this project, we hope that people will feel more connected to the Hudson so that they can reach out to their regulators, their decision makers, to ask them to do the right thing.
The students are really proud because this is not just built for our little school community. We're making dynamic presentations for anyone on the planet to view and gain from.
Great story. All right, so let's Google Earth a little bit. Let's see. Some other ones that are kind of the highlights here. Talked about Google Photos. Also Google Shopping, which we use in the shopping class. You can search multiple websites at the same time. Hangouts is like their virtual chat. Let's see. Of course, we talked about news a little bit. Talked about Scholar, Sheets. Stadium is one of their newer things. It's basically an idea that you have a device, and instead of having a gaming device, you actually have it so it's using over the internet, and you do it like that. But the problem is a lot of us may not have an internet streaming service that, or excuse me, may not have internet that's that fast to be able to do that. But they do allow, to find out more, and they also do a trial as well. So that is possible. So they do games as well. This is kind of an interesting thing, the tilt brush. I'll show that. This is more than just the cardboard. This connects up with things like the Oculus and the other full-on VR headsets, but it's a neat little video. Let me show you that real quick. And I think that the one, let's see, one of these, okay, I'll just show this one. Yeah, that's what I want to show. So this one actually shows the user. Okay, and then let's finish up. Let's talk about voice. So if you want a free voicemail, This actually is a free voicemail service that Google has. It has a lot of really cool features. You basically get a local phone number. So imagine you could actually give out your phone number, and you could make it all go straight to voicemail if you wanted to, and then you basically get a text message, and it's a separate app that you can actually listen to. And let me do personal, so it'll show. Here we'll show web right now. No, I don't want to do that. But anyway, one of the things it allows you to do is you basically can set it up so you can filter people calling you. You can actually, if they call that number, you can actually have it transferred to other cell phones. If you wanted to, you can actually have it so it has a ring section as well. So it has a lot of different features, and it's free. The only thing that costs on there is if you do a long distance phone call on that number. Waze is I believe it's an Israelian. It's from Israel's that actually come up with it, but now they own it. And it actually is, it's kind of like an alternative just to using Google Maps, but it has a social part of it. See, it just sent me to waze.com, see. And basically it's free. And the idea of it is basically you can actually have it so you're driving down the road and someone sees a collision up ahead, and the little guys will actually show up on there and give you information about it. Okay. I actually see Google Maps starting to incorporate some of the stuff. It talks about being aware of traffic. Excuse me. And I wish there was a little video. Do they have a little video of it? Let's see. Anyway, I don't see a little video of it. But yeah, so the idea here is that it gives you information. There we go. So it kind of pops up, tells you where you are, looking at where you're driving, and also have the little things that pop up to say, hey, look out, there's traffic up ahead. Okay. There we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. Preview your driving directions before you get there. Little local things that they'll put little shortcuts on there. One thing I don't like about it is it doesn't really show the live maps like Google Maps does with the photos. The satellite view is what I'm trying to say.
We Waze because we love the engagement of it all. Everything from looking at their little emojis, their personalities, it just adds a little bit more to the experience that is a part of our journey with doing van life, and it makes it fun. My name is Bianca Smith, and this is my son Carter, and we go around to schools and talk to all the kids about bullying. Currently, we are in Los Angeles living van life. We drive a lot. We're living in a van, we're homeschooling, I run my business in this van, we go out, we do volunteer work in this van, so a lot of things happen. You know, this van has so much... Business homemobile. But thankfully, because we have Waze, it makes it a lot more enjoyable. We call today Dump Day. So we're going to get more water, we're gonna dump our black water tanks, and run our necessary errands. You know, it's like our reset.
You have reached your destination.
Waze is fun. When I'm using Waze, it feels like I have a magic carpet. And the reason why is because I can see everything from up above, and we like how when we're using it, we can see what the weather is like, because driving through California sometimes when we're going through the mountains, there can be a lot of fog. And we love that perk because that lets us know, all right, we're gonna have to slow down. And Waze enables us to get what we need to get done in the most seamless way possible. So it looks like, according to Waze, it's been an accident. What we love about Waze is that other people are able to contribute to the app and notify others what's going on the road up ahead. It's impressive to know this is real time because of so many people contributing. It feels like I am a part of something bigger than the navigation app alone. And I remember the very first time when I decided to try out Waze, we were going somewhere and the route was gonna take us about 8 hours to get there. And then when I looked on Waze, it shaved off at least about 45 minutes. When you're trying to get somewhere on time and you're trying to get everything set up so that you can see a beautiful sunset and cook dinner and just, get settled in and really enjoy the rest of your evening, it matters. 45 minutes matters. And we love relying on Waze to help us in so many different ways that truly make this lifestyle a breeze.
There you go. All right, so as we kind of wrap up class here, we have covered a lot, haven't we, in our class? So I tell you to go ahead and explore a little bit too. They also have other stuff for businesses, small businesses, and a whole bunch of stuff. They're constantly doing something new, but I definitely encourage you to try out the Google Photos. Also, the Waze is great, and also Google Maps, of course, if you're going somewhere. And be ready to look for some of our other classes that we have coming up too, where we're talking about the Google Cardboard, VR, and all that kind of good stuff too. All right, so kind of have everything listed there, and we'll go ahead and wrap up class here unless there's any other questions or anything. So let me tell you about some of our upcoming classes that we have going on. So this afternoon we actually have a Let's Build a Website with WordPress class, so come join me for that. And then next week, there's no class on Tuesday. We're actually going to do on the 14th, Halloween Scratch Basics. Let's make a fun Halloween card, yay, using Scratch and Dance Party. And then the afternoon we'll do Let's Talk About Libby, our new digital free ebook, free audiobook, digital audiobook, there you go, service. We'll be talking about that. And then on Thursday, we're going to be doing our app swap, so come for that. So we'll be talking about different apps we can't live without. You share yours. And then we'll also be talking about introduction to Google Cardboard VR. So I showed you a little bit about that, but I'll also do a full kind of walkthrough, adding what apps I kind of recommend, ones I played around with, and a really good setup. So we have a whole bunch of different Halloween spooky classes coming up. Let's Make a Game, Spooky Card, Dance Party, Python Coding, Scary, Spot the Difference Prank, where it looks like they're clicking on a game, but actually a ghoul jumps out and goes "Rawr" at them. And we'll program all that, and it'll be a lot of fun. Also, we have our gadget help on Zoom with me on the 21st and 29th. Call into the Grovetown Library or the Harlem Library to schedule your time, and they'll give you more information. And the other thing is the Raspberry Pi project, how to make a sound trap so someone steps on like a mat up in the front and we want it to make a sound, a random sound that we choose, okay? So then also we'll do Scratch Basics, Let's Make a Spooky Game. So lots of fun things coming out here in October, trying some new classes stuff, so glad that you'll be here with us. Also, a little bit more information about Libby. Like I said, we're doing a class about Libby. Mostly next week, we'll also talk about other free library resources as well in that class. But this is our new thing that started October 1st. So no more RB Digital for the ebooks or audiobooks. You have to switch over to Libby. You can still get your magazines, comics, RB Digital, subscribing to Acorn TV through the RB Digital. But we're switching over to the new Libby and stuff. On a little side note, our libraries are open with limited services and hours. Curbside holds pickup is available. Please make sure to thank the librarians for doing that. It's such a great service. I've used it myself a few times. You can go to gchrl.org for details or call into the library with questions Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please encourage friends or family members to watch our videos. But I also encourage you to come watch us talk to us live, because then you can ask questions and stuff too. Please don't forget to hit subscribe. Remember, we're trying to get 100 subscribers, and we'll get our own personal YouTube address then. If not, we'll go. You can search for YouTube. Our YouTube channel. Just search YouTube for GCHRL videos, and it'll pop right up. So I want to tell you thank you for being here today, and hope to see you this afternoon in a future class too. So have a great day. Have a great afternoon. Get you some lunch and stuff. It looks like a beautiful day outside. We might be getting some rain later, but in the week or so. But very glad that it's beautiful and sunny outside. Enjoy the fall weather and stay safe, and everybody. So until I see you, have a great day, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.